Offensive coordinator Will Friend. We'll just jump right into questions. Jeff, do you want to start it off?
Sure. Will, just coming off the last game, another great performance out of Caden Belkamp. Just kind of tell me a little bit about his progression. It seemed like, just in my eyes, that might have been his best game of the year.
It's been a long time since we played. No, Caden did some good things, made some runs, some plays we'd like to have back on a couple progression things where he held it a little bit longer than needed, took a couple sacks, but made some really good throws, was accurate. I think he was 20 for 29, maybe. You may know the stats better, 20, 28, somewhere around there. So, again, Caden's done a good job of completing passes, and we just got to continue to improve in his career and through the season.
Piggybacking off of that, no turnovers for him, no interceptions for him, only one fumble a game, which came right at the end there, basically clean sheet for you all. How do you keep that progression going after having so many turnovers?
Well, I didn't think we played very good in the game offensively, when I say that, we protected the ball till the end, but we really had 3 or 4 things on some drives that really were self-inflicting, whether it be an assignment or a penalty on one that really put us in a bind that really stopped drives. I don't know how much they would have stopped us in the first half if we could have got out our own way at times. So we didn't play as well as we wanted to, and so hopefully, that's kind of been the point of emphasis this week of trying to do some things. Understanding the importance of doing the right things, because this day and time in college football, you're limited a little bit on your possessions. So if you're in a game and you have a self-inflicting type of situation that stops a drive, not only have you put your defense back out there, but you're limited on how many opportunities you have. So we got to do better at that.
Coach, obviously, Kennesaw State picked up a huge win against Liberty this week. While you're practicing in your bye week, you kind of change your plan at all heading into playing that game?
No, obviously we watched the game, and it kind of, goes into the plan with the other games they played. But Kennesaw, that was a big win for those guys. But don't forget that staff and that program had been really dominant and a really successful program that made an adjustment up. That's kind of got themselves. They've had to deal with that adjustment. That's a well-coached football team and a good football team. They'll be a tough team, and before that game, we already knew what we're dealing with next week.
Right, Coach. Well, Hannon's been there since the start, has built that program from the ground up, and really kind of scaled it pretty fast. Do you expect the same as they join this level?
Yeah, I think, number one, they're good coaches. Number two, they're tough coaches, and their team plays tough. And so I think that, like anything, anytime you make a move up or move whatever, there's some adjusting that goes into play. And I think, Coach will do a good job there. But we're worried about Wednesday night, and we better be ready to play.
Coach Sheldon talked about how he was impressed with their defense in that game. For you, what do you see out there?
Yeah, I think, the back end is extremely they play violent. They're backers and secondary. They run and hit. That's kind of how that program was built, on being physical. And they're still there. So the first thing you did when you put on the tape, you watched the team that was flying around, playing fast on defense, out hitting their opponent, just things weren't going the right way for them. And then you saw a team that happened for 2 nights ago, and you can see what they can do. But it's nothing that we didn't see going in. We were already prepared for. We're prepared for a war next Wednesday.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.